So there has been so much news surfacing about a new stimulus check that might be passed here in the near future. Now it's interesting to look around, take a look at how everybody's digesting all this information and being presented to you. But what I want to do in a video like this is give you everything that we do know so far, weed out some of those unreliable sources so everybody can be on the same page and they know exactly what to expect. So with that being said, let's just jump right into the video. Now what we do know is that the CARES Act that was signed back in March by President Trump, it is still being trickled out. Not everybody has received their stimulus check quite yet. I myself do fall into that category as well because I've not received it. The reason why I have not received my individual stimulus check is because my 2019 taxes were filed incorrectly and I needed to amend them. So I sent that in and I'm just waiting on the response for that. But as I get a response on that, I should likely see that stimulus check roll in. Now keep in mind, if you haven't been paying close attention to everything stimulus, then you wouldn't know of the HEROES Act, which is another act that is being considered right now. What's happened is it has passed the House of Representatives. Now the one drawback to this news being released is that both President Trump and Republican Senate leader Mitch McConnell have both spoken out and said that this is basically dead on arrival. However, Mitch McConnell did come out and say that you could expect another package to be released within a month or so. So he was quoted saying that, and it'll be interesting to see if that comes to fruition. McConnell put out the idea that it would be around $1 trillion and the first payment would be around $290 billion. However, with a monetary value like that, it's unlikely that everybody is going to receive money from this, meaning that the money from this wouldn't necessarily be paid out individually for those across America. A few more things to keep in mind is that we haven't really seen the impact of that initial $1,200 stimulus check that was released. So I think that for the most part, it's being waited on just to see the results of that, to understand if introducing another stimulus check is going to help out. Now, President Trump didn't necessarily rule out the idea of individual payments being made because he does know that and understand that there is a lot more that needs to be done. He acknowledged that $1,200 isn't going to be enough for a full recovery of the economy. He also declined to state whether or not there was much more that could be done in this aspect. So it's for the most part being kept in the clouds, and you just got to pay really close attention to all the information, all the articles being released. However, what we do know is that more than 38.6 million workers have filed for unemployment, and that is directly from the Department of Labor. So the checks that are being released are really aimed to help those who are being laid off. There's obviously so much that has gone into the unemployment benefits that come along with being unemployed, but also that $1,200 is aimed to help them and secure businesses that need help during this financial crisis. Obviously, the thought process is that with everybody getting another $1,200, they're going to end up spending that money, but I don't know if that's necessarily the case because I don't know about what you guys have been doing, but I've definitely been saving my money. I'm actually in the process of saving for a down payment right now amongst all of this crisis. Another route that is being considered, and the Trump administration has also delved into this category just a little bit, but it's figuring out how to implement some tax cuts to help those struggling Americans. Just understanding some of the terminology and what is being thrown into this HEROES Act. Essentially, what you're going to expect is if you are earning less than $75,000, you're going to get a $1,200 check, much like the previous act that was passed. But on top of that, joint filers for up to $150,000 take-home salary, they'll get up to $2,400. Now, this was the same case in the CARES Act as well, so that looks the same. The difference, however, comes within what happens afterwards. So initially, you were going to get $500 per every child that you have, but new in this would essentially give any undocumented workers access to some money as well. Payments would be provided for those undocumented immigrants, and that is really going to be a sticking point that's going to hurt trying to get this to progress past all of the Republicans. What we do know and what we've seen from this entire process is that it can get really drawn out and it can take a very long time for anything to really start to pass, anything to really start to get put into motion. So for now, I think all we can really do is just sit here and wait and watch the news. So at this point, I want to know what your thoughts are around a second stimulus being passed. Do you think this is likely going to happen? Do you think we're going to see individual payments, or what is your thoughts along this manner? I know it'll be interesting to see where everything heads. In my mind, I don't see a decision being made anytime soon. I think it might take a month before we see really anything going on. But obviously, this is a very timely manner, so they want to figure this out as quickly as they possibly can. No one really knows how long this pandemic is going to last and when we're going to start making some grounds on it even further. So just let me know your thoughts along all this. I'd be super interested to know. Thanks for checking out this video, guys, and I hope you have a great day.